Hey, what's up? Looks like you've entered the maelstrom. It's me, Kendrick, meaning no Kieran today, but also that means it's time for a brand new episode of Free Shit from Epic. And finally, we have ourselves a good game. It's Cook Serve Delicious 3. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been away for a long time, haven't done one of these episodes, in at least a month. Why? Because I've been waiting for a good game. I didn't notice before, in between all the great AAA games that they give away, things like GTA, the Borderlands 3, things people want to play, Epic gives away a lot of free shit. The emphasis on the word shit. There's a lot of these indie games that I've never heard of, don't want to hear of, kind of preferred if I didn't hear of them. And certainly wouldn't spend an hour of my day playing it. Listen, I've played some bad games in the past. Games I'm like, oh my god, I should have just given the choice of playing that game or sitting in the dark, in the quiet, and doing absolutely nothing. In hindsight, Dark in the Quiet wins, because at least Dark in the Quiet, I'm like, kind of bored. But then I never ever look back years later being like, there's that time I was kind of bored. Whereas there's been games I've played, I look back and I'm like, what a piece of crap. Cue to the other video I was making a few weeks back, but then realized life is too short. No way. Now I'm screwing around. This is not on that level. This is one of those, it's not for me, but it doesn't suck. With that being said, sure, this is a niche game. This is not for me. I don't fall into their demographic. I'm not who they're going after. But honestly, who the hell is? Why in the world would you waste your time playing this? The only person on this planet who should be playing this is someone who's like going to school or is like an apprentice to be a mechanic, and they need to get their reps in. They need to apply their real life skills virtually, during the pandemic, maybe there isn't as many cars to work on. I don't know. I'm really trying to wrap my brain around this thing. Anyone else? My guy, you're wasting your life. You know how your mom always tells you that? She's right in this case. She was wrong when she said that about Fallout 3, but she's super right about it this time. Do not sit there in your mama's basement watching as life passes you by. If you think for a second, well, it was free, what else am I going to do with my life? My guy, how defeated are you? Chin up. If you like this type of stuff, if you're interested in being a car mechanic, well, go enroll in school and be a goddamn car mechanic, okay? Get out of that dark, dank basement, make some moves in life. Sure, right now you might be 34 years old, playing that Japanese hentai dating game, but it's not over for you, man. Get out there, make some real do-re-mi, and move into your own apartment. Because guess what? Girls, they have this thing called standards. Or at least if you have standards, the girls you're going to go after will have standards, alright? And even if she's a low shooter, like she kind of hates herself, so she shoots real low, she's probably going to have some options. And if the choice, even if it's one other option, even if it's down between you, who works a minimum wage part-time job, and you play car mechanic simulator, and the other guy works a full-time minimum wage job, and he plays like GTA, you're probably gonna choose him, bud. It's not fair. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying you're not a better person than he is. But I am saying GTA is a far more superior game than Car Mechanic Simulator. If for nothing else, for the love of God, you can drive the cars in that one. I don't know, maybe you can drive the car in this one, but anyone with any kind of ambition would not stick around this game long enough to find out. So that's my long-winded way of saying, thank God we finally got a legitimate, sweet, free shit from Epic. And once again, it's Cook Serve Delicious 3. I love this series. One's a little tough after you played 3, So I suggest if you're new to the series, go in order 1, 2, 3, because 3, they add this mechanic that makes life so much easier that it's not available in 1. And if you go backwards, you're like, God damn, why can't my fembots sell this shit for me? And then you realize the fembots are only in the 3rd one. So, full disclosure, even though this one is free shit from Epic, I'm playing my Steam version, because I already own this game. Don't you hate it when that happens? Epic gives out a free game that you already have. It's even worse if you bought the game 2 weeks ago. Like, that happened when I bought basketball, NBA. 2 weeks later, they give it away for free on Epic. I'm like, oh, for the love of Christ. But at least this one, I played 2 years ago. I don't think I got very far in it. 2, I played the hell out of. That was such a great game. 3's good too. I'm glad it's something different. It's a food truck. And I understand no one in their right mind would choose the Steam version over the Epic version right now because it's free on Epic. But if this were just a regular review of this game, I would say 100% choose the Steam version if you don't have people to play with you at your house. Because the Steam version, you can use remote co-op. Like if you look at the gameplay, at one point it's Kieran and I playing with, what's that called? Remote play together. So it's basically the couch co-op, but you do it online. Because even though this is a single player game, it's not an easy single player game. It's definitely challenging, and for me, it was straight up stressful. Oh, to the point where Kieran and I, we both had our mics on. We were recording our audio, but I had to get rid of it because there was nothing clever or fun being said whatsoever during the gameplay. Oh, there was times we weren't even talking because we were both focused, laser focused on trying to get the job done. And at other times, there's me getting mad at him for not working as fast as I'd like him to. And that's the thing with these goddamn cooking games. It ruins relationships. Like, it's not so bad on this one. Oh, but that other one, Overcooked 2, oh my god. That one, Kieran, myself, and our other buddy Toshi, we're just like on each other's asses, jumping down each other's throats, actually, about not doing it right. And I can't imagine this is good for my mental health because I had so much anxiety during the tutorial because I'd forgotten how to play and I wasn't really paying attention to the actual tutorial. I'm like, I played this before, I know what I'm doing. Turns out, no, don't know what I'm doing. And the worst part was, at one point, I decided to make a menu that was completely a dessert one, so all sweets, no savory food, so donuts and that type of stuff. And at one point, I had like a flashback. You know how like soldiers have flashbacks? Turns out I have some PTSD from one of these jobs I had where I made and sold coffee, but because they were cheap, I also made and sold donuts. So you have to imagine this place is like downtown, so it can get busy. Like 100 people can walk through that door in a span of 20 minutes, and there were times I was just by myself. Sometimes, if I was lucky, there'd be another person in there with me, but there was definitely plenty of times where it was just me going to greet the customer, taking their order, then making the order, and this game took me back. I know the donuts in this one isn't a deep fryer donut, but you use the deep fryer a lot in this, so it took me back. I had my Nom moment of way too many orders all at once, and me trying my best to keep up. And I did all of this for minimum wage. And if I was lucky, I'd walk away with an extra $1 or $2 from tips. So that's another reason, if you think it's a good idea playing Car Mechanic Simulator thinking, I'm good with this. Eventually, you're not gonna be good with it. Eventually, you're gonna have to start paying some rent, and if you've wasted your whole life, that might mean you're gonna have to take a job making dozens upon dozens of donuts all too quickly, and then reliving it a full year later playing this cool, wonderful, beautiful game. This game does remind me, though, peace times have made me soft. Because I remember, despite it being a complete shit show at that job, which I lasted for like a month at, I got through it. Like, I was able to keep up for the most part. But here, it didn't take much for my brain to like shut off. There were definitely a few times where I just looked at the screen, I'm like, oh wait, I'm supposed to be doing something right now. Or like I'll forget to hit A to drop the basket and start cooking. But to be fair, it did get better the longer I played it. It does take a little bit of time to get into the rhythm, get used to the buttons. But then again, it does get more challenging as you get more high-level food items. There's more that goes with it. So what I'm saying is you'll never have peace. I know I'll never have peace. It turns out I'm a prisoner of my own mind. Now to me, this is, if not the best, right up there as the best in genre. A cooking simulator. Now I don't know what's wrong with me. I must be some sort of like masochist or something. Because I've worked kitchens. I do not care for working in kitchens, okay? But I love these cooking games for some reason. And so I've played a few. I've probably played all the big ones. I'll hold my opinion for Cooking Simulator for, I think I'm gonna make a different video. I'm playing it right now. So I'll hold off commenting on that too much before I give it a deep dive and really know what I'm talking about. But I've played the hell out of Overcooked, Overcooked 2, and Diner Bros. And to me, this one takes the cake. This series, Cook, Serve, Delicious. Because with Overcooked 2, it's like too zany. It's fun, you know, you play with your friends, you're not really there for, you know, cooking simulator, you're there to have fun with your friends. Diner Bros is a little bit closer to the sim aspect, but again, to me, it's a party game, whereas this gets the feeling of working on a kitchen line better than anything I've ever played. For better or worse, of course. If you got hidden PTSD like I do, it may not be your cup of tea, may not be something you want. You may want, you know, the goofy, zany, you know, laugh it off. Never mind the bad memories. Let's mask it with the fun that I'm having with my friends right now. It does capture the feeling of get an order and make an order step by step. Better than anything I've played. I tried the chill mode just so I can escape my demons, I guess. But it turns out I truly am a prisoner of my own mind, because even on chill mode, even though they've taken all the pressure out because the patrons have unlimited patience, they'll wait and not just, you know, give up on the order and walk away. But still, I found myself putting pressure on me, because whenever I've worked kitchens, I've been like, I need to do it fast and do it right. I'm not useless. I'm not useless like all these other people I work with. I have standards for myself. And so I brought that here, and honestly, it's not necessary here on chill mode or even in real life, because A, this is a video game, but even in real life, if everybody sucks at their job, either be okay with that and also suck at your job, because you don't stick out like a sore thumb and then like get beat up after work or anything like that. Turns out ruffians work the kitchens, or else get the hell out of that place. If you're the ambitious sort, get out of there and go to a place with higher standards. But probably don't, because I've known people who work like in fine dining, and it sounds like it's super annoying as well. Just play Cook, Serve, Delicious. Just ignore their story. It doesn't really affect gameplay, it's more like a premise, like it's a backstory. From what I recall, this takes place in a post-apocalyptic world, which makes no sense. Just think about it. If the world were to end, how the hell would you be able to start a restaurant? Oh, believe me, if I survived a nuclear fallout, and I climbed to the surface, and I saw some guy opening a new restaurant, I would be like, dude, I've been eating rats for the past 6 months. Where did you get all these groceries? Was there fresh food? Did you hoard all the fresh food? Believe me, if someone opened a restaurant in a post-apocalyptic world, they're getting murdered and having their damn place ransacked. Believe me, so it makes absolutely no sense. Even in this game, the story of 3 is Cook, Serve, Delicious is the pinnacle of post-apocalyptic restaurants. You work so hard to build it up, and then some, and I guess the war's still going on because like a missile just went and blew it up. All willy-nilly, all your hard work is gone. But none of that matters, it doesn't factor into the game at all. I would have preferred if they didn't have a storyline whatsoever. You just want to own a restaurant and you own a restaurant. There's far less suspension of disbelief in that scenario, where there is no storyline compared to this one. But I digress, it's fine. The storyline doesn't factor into it. Like, look, driving down the street in your food truck, you would never know for a second that this was a post-apocalyptic world. It just looks like any old city. Some parts are nice, some parts are dirty. Some parts you get well-dressed people, some you get hobo-looking guys trying to buy a hot dog off of you. But at the end of the day, what I have to say about Cook Serve Delicious 3 is, it's legit. As far as free shit from Epic goes, this is definitely worth your time. Download it and play it. Don't be like me where I get like most of the games and never ever even look at it twice, let alone download and play it. This one is worth the download, worth your time. Especially if you have someone to play with at your home. If you don't, chill mode. Who needs to be reminded of their shitty minimum wage jobs, okay? Oh, and also, I guess I'm going to piggyback off of Kieran's channel here to promote my own. If you like what I do and want to hear more from me and see more video game wonderfulness, check out my channel, Kendrick Kaiju. Well, until the next time, embrace the Maelstrom, baby!